Welcome to another edition of Voice of the Vet. We are here today at the world famous Briarhawk, the Firearms and Ammunition. And we have the owner, right?
Yes, sir.
Stephen Crescenti. Did I say it right?
You did.
Okay, we got to do this.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Elbow, there we go.
All right. You know, being a former police officer and a firearms instructor, I walk in here, I'm like, oh, I'm home. You know, this place is incredible. We're going to have all the information to it right on the website. It'll be right below the video, and you'll see them throughout the website too. We're really gonna do a lot of stuff together, I think.
I think so too.
We talk privately, and there's other things, but we'll bring that up when the time comes.
Sure.
Okay. Well, Stephen, you started this business, right?
Yes, I did.
And the story you told me was really cool about how you started.
Mm-hmm.
You want to tell our viewers how you got things going?
Sure. And the good thing is we actually have a drink, so we're
Cheers.
the non-alcoholic. Yeah, cheers. The non-alcoholic ones today. So.
Just today.
Yeah, just today. That's later on. It's a different story. But how it started was a friend of mine actually had a shop down on the other side of town, and he was right around Newtown. During the Newtown shooting, that I went into the store, maybe bought a couple boxes of ammunition. I think I went to a CCW class there, but I noticed that the prices were a little bit askew, a little bit higher than they should have been for just simple things like, range ammo, 9mm range ammo, and that kind of got me a little bit. Where I looked at it and I said, why are you charging people that believe in the same thing that you believe in, like essentially an extortion tax almost?
Oh.
So I kind of left a bad taste in my mouth.
Sure.
He's still a friend, but all said and done, business is business.
Absolutely.
And so at that point in time, I started looking into an FFL and how to get an FFL. So I went, turned around, applied for my FFL, the fingerprints, ATF, I got background checked 18 ways till Tuesday, and turned around and got my FFL. I had a small location. It was started off originally as an office. It was down on Spring Mountain Road, and I was able to find, it was an office building that was zoned commercially, but it worked out perfectly. It was a 300 square foot office. I opened up the store, and I was going to do online based business.
Okay.
So just kind of sell some stuff online, do some transfers, and be able to kind of start like a small business like that. And I have a full-time job, so this is not my livelihood, this is not my bread and butter. I actually have a full-time job as a software sales engineer, and so I started this just to kind of, like a little hobby for the most part.
Or a passion?
A passion, yeah. Guns have been a passion for mine for about over 20 years now.
Oh, nice.
My cousin and I used to go shooting all the time. He was a former trooper in Connecticut, then went down to Florida, was a trooper down there. Now he does private security services. So we used to go shooting all the time, just as it was fun stuff.
Good.
So that's kind of how I got an adoption into it. My father had guns in the house.
Okay.
Growing up, we always had guns in the house, but we never touched them. And it was one of those things that we were always more afraid of getting beat by Dad than actually getting shot by the gun.
Sure.
Yeah. He was a Korean War vet. So my father.
So was mine.
Yep,
Yeah, absolutely.
My father served. My brothers served 25 years in the Navy. So I've got uncles across the different military branches.
But you said Navy?
He was in the Navy, yeah. I had an uncle in the Air Force.
Oh, okay, now we're good. All right.
We pretty much cover everything except for, I think, the Coast Guard.
All right, so back to the story.
So back to the story.
I gotta get the Air Force plug in.
Exactly. So, and I'll give a shout out to the Air Force. One of my best friends, Tony, is retired from the Air Force also.
Okay,
So,
nice.
Yep.
All right.
And so basically turned around and had an office building. It was a small office. Landlord got sick. Second landlord came in and just busted down an exterior wall.
Yeah, that was nice.
Didn't even tell me.
Oh, and didn't tell you at all?
Didn't tell me. You just
good Lord.
knocked down opened the door, knocked down the wall, and threw in double glass doors.
Thanks very much.
So in 2014, I was getting ready to get married, and at the time, my future father-in-law, my future mother-in-law were moving from Illinois. They said, "Okay, we're tired of the winters there."
Yeah.
He worked in the force down in Morton, Illinois, and so we turned around and we were like talking about this, and he goes, "Yeah, you're gonna probably not want to sit on the couch all day and watch Cops episodes or reruns,
Right.
And so we chatted back and forth, and we said, "Well, what kind of money would you need to kind of do this?" And so we chatted and we had a little conversation, and I said, "Okay, I can swing that." And so we started, and we actually opened up in like a full retail full retail situation in August of 2014, right before I got married.
Wow.
And we had small, like 3 display cases. It was 300 square feet. That included the bathroom.
That's
Yeah, the safes were actually locked in the bathroom.
No.
Yes, they were.
Well, that's funny.
It was pretty comical, but it was small, and it was like very, very hard. For the first 10 months, I was just shoveling money out of my personal pocket.
Ouch.
I never took a loan, never borrowed money from anybody.
Good for you.
It was always funding it out of my savings and on my personal checking account to fund this whole entire thing. And it was kind of a labor of love.
Sure.
Really turned into a labor of love at that time. And it was one of those as a basically a grandson from Italian and Greek immigrants.
Oh, there you go.
It's one of those things. I look at this and I go, "This is what you do for your family."
Good.
Right? It's a family.
Great.
Even though it's not blood, it's still family.
Right.
And so we started working on it, and Art and I would sit every Sunday at dinner and have Sunday dinner, and we'd chat about the business back and forth, and he'd tell us what's going on, and I'd tell him how much money we got in the bank, and we just kind of keep rolling some of the stuff back in the bank. But for the first 10 months, it was horrible. It was about 2 months away from just shutting down. It was the point where I was just bleeding cash. And then a couple things happened, some word of mouth happened, got a couple of reviews on Yelp, and then all of a sudden people started finding us.
Wow.
And then about a year later, we finally broke even, and we were doing well. And then we started saying, okay, well, we're kind of bursting the seams. So we decided to find a new location. One of our customers actually is a commercial broker who found us this location. So a lot of it's always been customers taking care of us and working back and forth.
Yeah.
And it's been really good. So we moved over here to West Sahara, 5715, and we started off. We first looked at this place, we're like, it's 1,000 square feet. And you go, 1,000 square feet? We're at 300. Like, how are we gonna fill this?
Wow.
And we're just looking at this going, oh. It was a 5-year lease too. That was even the scarier part. And then we turned around and we moved in. And we did some construction, I took some PTO from work, and because again, I have a full-time job,
Sure.
I'm juggling all this on top of the store.
Wow.
And so next thing you know, we're doing some remodeling, and we're doing some painting and everything else that has to be done, buying more display cases. And then we opened up, and then about a year and a half, 2 years later, we're doing really well. There's the location we're in right now is actually used to be an immigration office. Yep, and it was great. So I talked to the lady that actually had the business, and she says it wasn't doing that great on the side of town. Her other office was doing better. So I said, "Can I buy you a lease?" So she said, "Sure." So I bought her out of her lease, and I got 2 units now, so I doubled up in size.
Nice.
So we got about 2,000 square feet, so good, comfortable location. We have the only 180-degree shooting simulator in the state.
We might be seeing that on
So the shooting simulator is
here.
awesome. It's really cool. So whether you want to deal with active shooter type of things, or you want to deal with like law enforcement officers or military that want to respond to a call, or shooting zombies, right?
That'll work.
Who doesn't like to shoot zombies, right? So you can shoot zombies in the head, which is awesome.
Yeah, really.
But there's also target shooting and everything else.
Okay.
And even one of the things that even inside the simulator, I'll always go and work with a client that'll say, okay, well, let's get you shooting, let's get you shooting faster. And so I'll give them the gun, they'll shoot a couple things, and it's all laser based, so there's no live fire. The nice thing is no eye protection, no ear protection.
Yeah.
It's a great environment, and because they're not real guns that we're using, you can actually get your children involved early on.
Nice.
And teach them the safeties,
That's
teach
great.
them the gun in the safe direction,
Yeah.
make sure to keep their finger off the trigger until they're ready to shoot. So all of the important aspects of shooting, you can get your children involved at a young age without having to worry about a safety violation.
That's nice.
And
that's so smart.
And that's really the cool thing about it. But then I'll also take a gun and I'll say, okay, let me take a look at that. And I'll just kind of fake out the customer. And I say, let me look at that for a second. And I look at it and I hand it back to them, and they go to reach out and they grab it. So typically, if most people are right-handed, we're not talking about the other people are left-handed, but there are some left-handed.
There's
Yeah, there's
one or
three
two.
or four, right? And so, but I'll give, and I said, no, give me your other hand. And they look at me and I say, no, I want you to shoot off-handed.
Good.
So typically, do you go to the range and shoot off-handed?
Typically, people don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, So what will end up happening is, first of all, if you go to the range and shoot off-handed, it's going to be expensive.
Yeah.
Right. So it
Yeah.
costs you money. You're talking $12, $13, $14 for a box of 9mm.
Yeah.
We're just ranging them out. That adds up after a while.
Oh, sure.
So I give them a gun and I say, I'm not really caring about really that much accuracy, but if I get you close, shooting off-handed, and non-supporting and taking your hand and putting it behind your back? Yeah. So, but I diverge away from the conversation though. So, but yes, we got the shooting simulator, and we can kind of have the whole place set up where we have it's a fun environment.
Good.
All the guys that work for me, they're all part-time.
So that's what you're saying. That's
Yep.
wow.
So I don't have any full-time employees. I changed the model over because it got to the point where I now look at this and I say, okay, well, what if a full-timer gets sick? Especially now, right?
Yeah, especially now.
Let's look at now, right? So now we've got an event on our hands that is just, it really kind of crippled industries. It's hurt lots of businesses. It's helped some businesses. But at the same time, we look at it and we go, how do I, you know, this is even before this all happened, how do I make sure I insulate and protect the business from if somebody gets sick and all of a sudden I have, let's say, 2 people that work at any given time, I get 1 person that's sick and I only have 50% of my staff.
Yeah.
So that's why I switched over to a part-time model, and it's great because it's also increased the level of communications between all the employees.
Oh, good.
So,
Good.
the conversation between all the employees is tighter. Everybody transfers information a lot better, and it actually builds a better family.
Oh, that's nice.
It was kind of I took a picture and I posted it to Facebook a few weeks back when the whole entire, the social distancing.
Oh, by the way, we are social distance.
Yep,
right
we are-
here.
we are
This is the
social
first
distance.
interview I've done
Yep.
that's more than 6 feet away.
Yep, I make sure we pulled out our high top tables that we use for our parties, but.
Even to the elbows.
Yep, but the social Disney, so we took a picture and 2 of our customers that came in a few weeks back, it was on a Saturday, they actually gave us some money, extra money. They said, buy lunch for yourselves.
Oh, nice.
It was cool. So it was 2 customers who put some money, went to
Sweet.
Chick-fil-A. It was the first time I went
Oh,
to Chick-fil-A.
really?
That, no joke, less than 2 minutes before I actually was able to order. There was nobody in line. It was,
Oh, that's sweet.
it was
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
thank God for the coronavirus to
Yeah,
get
no
to the
doubt.
Chick-fil-A.
Yeah. But for you, sure.
So we took a picture and it was a bunch of the guys in the back and I said, and basically the tag was like, well, you have to social distance except for family. And really the kind of the moral of the story is this is part of my extended family now.
Yeah.
The guys that work for me are all fantastic.
Well, I felt it when I first walked in.
Yep.
The guy who greeted us at the door,
Mhm.
he was not going to let us in unless we
Yep.
had an appointment.
Yep.
So Mike was like, little Mike here, right?
Yep, yeah.
He's like, kind of caught him off guard. But then he said, oh, the interview, yeah, okay.
Yep.
And when I walked in, like I said, being a former police officer and
Yep.
a former firearms instructor, I'm like, it all came back. I'm like, the smell even,
Yep.
you can smell everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, but
Gun oil.
it was such a friendly environment.
And that's what I try to keep.
Yeah.
You can't see it on camera right now, but even off to the side over there, we have a workbench.
Yeah.
And that workbench isn't for an armorer. That workbench is for customers.
Oh, no kidding.
So if a customer wants to come in and clean their guns or work on a gun, we have tools for them. It's all free of charge.
How many gun shops do that?
Not any that I know of.
No, I've never heard that.
The way I built the model wasn't about making money. Again, and this is going to sound horrible, but the store can close tomorrow and it's not going to, me as a person,
Right.
not going to hurt me because I have a job and I work and I love what I do and I wouldn't trade what I do for the world. I fly 100,000 miles a year. I'm always in an airplane. I primarily work in the automotive industry, so I deal with software engineering and automotive, so I spend a lot of time in Detroit. And so a lot of the technology stuff that I've also put in place in the store is for me to be able to communicate remotely with a lot of the guys.
Yeah.
And it actually makes it easier to help run the business, so I don't have to worry. So it's cool that I have my hand in it, and it's fun, and it's a great thing. But also, I see the business as not. I don't want it to be for money.
Good. That's why you're successful, I think. Part of it.
I mean, because I enjoy it, so it's great. Yeah, I get some good discounts on guns, and I got my array of Berettas at home, but because the guys know I'm the Beretta guy at the shop.
That's
Everybody
cool.
has their own thing. I got an HK guy, I got a Glock guy, so we
Nice.
go across the board. But the other interesting thing is you look at is that I've also built this, kind of the mission statement that I really kind of built this was around charity. And not saying that family was charity, but it's kind of the concept of being able to help.
Right.
So I was helping my former father-in-law, and it was great because I was able to actually help as retirement ages bring some money in.
Sure.
So to kind of give you also an idea is after we opened up here in the new location, we did our first open house.
Nice.
And the first year it was $2,400 for the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department Foundation.
Wow.
It was either 2,000 or 2,400. I forgot what the first year was.
Nice.
And then the next year we did another open house, and we raised another $2,500. And so each year I've been doing things to help raise money for charity and charitable events.
That's nice. That's excellent.
So Metropolitan Police Foundation I've done work with, First Choice Pregnancy Clinics. So they're the clinics that actually help women in challenged times that are trying to figure out what to do with their baby, and they either find somebody for adoption or help provide services for them. Those are things that I actually like to help in the community.
Good for you.
Things that I also get involved with are only things that are here in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
18-year resident of Las Vegas. Now I guess I consider myself a local or pretty close
Oh,
to it.
yeah, you're there.
Right. I've seen the ups and downs, right? So, this is now our second down, I guess. So, yeah, especially from the economy.
Yeah, 2008.
Eight was a little rough, but so I try to always make sure whatever I'm going to give back into is I give back into something local.
That's great.
I don't want, not that I'm taking away anything from these national organizations,
no.
but I'd rather see the money happen and impact locally.
And the community would like to see that too. You get more respect from that, just that statement.
Yeah,
That's
so,
outstanding.
So our open house this year was normally going to be in May. We pushed it off. The people that were going to be the beneficiaries were the same ones as last year, which was North Las Vegas SWAT.
Oh, nice.
Last year we raised $3,000 for them.
Ooh.
So I went out with some of the guys from SWAT, and we actually went shopping.
Oh, sweet.
So I was like their uncle, rich uncle.
Yeah, there you go.
So and so the way that North Las Vegas SWAT was set up is they can't take money, but they can take purchased, like donated items. So we got like steel saw, we got gates for them, we got Halligan bars for them, we bought a bunch of different gear for them.
Nice.
That's typically not in their budget. So, but they need it's stuff that would actually make their job a lot easier.
That was a group of happy guys.
Oh, they're great. So they came down last year. They brought their Bearcat down. The guys and gals from the SWAT team, they were all here, and they were having just a fun time. We had food in here, so that's all we would do is open the doors. We've got food inside of here. We set it up as just a fun atmosphere, a fun party environment. But that's what I like to do. I like to be able to say, you know what, I want to do something good for the community.
Yeah.
I'm at the age of my life right now where I go, what else am I going to do? Right? And there are a lot of people that need help. Right, and I'd like to be able to help provide that. Whether it's an organization that's going to provide safety for us. Primary example is North Las Vegas SWAT. They'll respond anywhere in the state.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So the SWAT officers actually respond. They're not just strictly North Las Vegas.
Wow.
So they actually responded to an event recently near my home, actually, to a domestic violence scenario.
Wow.
And yeah, I was actually texted one of the guys on the team, like, hey, were you guys down the street from my house?
What are you doing?
They're like, yep. I'm like, are you okay? He's like, yep. Okay, good. So, but so I developed lots of great relationships, lots of great friendships, and really that's kind of what Briarhawk is based on. It's really about community outreach, working with groups, working with organizations. Yes, we right now with what's going on, money is coming in a lot faster than it used to. Customers are coming a lot faster than it used to, but also the payroll costs have gone up. Because all of my guys are part-time. They have full-time jobs at other places. Oh, they're not working right now.
Right.
So what's happening is now that they're not working, they're coming here, and I'm actually be able to give them more hours to be able to help provide for their families or for their life, or just put a roof on their head.
You're covering so many areas here. I mean, you're helping the community. You're helping, the police departments. And you're helping really the economy, if you look at it, because now these guys, some of them you said worked at casinos.
Yep.
Well,
yeah, one of the guys works at a retail clothing store at Caesars.
They're not working. None of them.
The whole building shut down.
The
Like,
whole
get out.
strip is gone. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's outstanding that you can do that.
Yeah.
Not a whole lot of people are doing that right
No,
now. Unfortunately, they don't
Yeah.
have your mindset for one thing.
Exactly, and the cool part is the guys that I have working here, they believe in all the things that I believe in.
Good.
They're not just here for a quick dollar.
That's even better.
And it's really it's exciting to see the amount of effort in. Matt, one of the guys that works for me, he wasn't feeling good. I said, Matt, you're staying home for 2 weeks. All right, so Matt stayed home for 2 weeks. He checked all the voicemails. He kept calling all the customers. He was checking. We got one day over 800 calls.
Oh, in one day? Oh, is Matt okay now?
No, Matt's great. He's actually he's working in the store right now. So Matt's good. He's out of his 2-week quarantine.
He's
But
walking around like this.
He's like, now he's like wondering, like,
I never
should
had it.